Has your health been covered up? Today, it's Revealing Wholeness with Dr. Troy Munson, presented to you by Infinity Whole Health.
Hello and welcome. I'm Dr. Troy Munson. Today on Revealing Wholeness, we're going to talk about breathing. And breathing's quite important these days.
Yes, it is.
Here we are in late August in 2018 in Washington, and fires are rampant, and people are complaining about
No air to breathe.
Yes.
And allergies and burning eyes and the lungs hurting and not being able to get a good breath of fresh air.
Exactly. And what's interesting is I'll have half my clients complain about the bad air and half don't. And this is what I know about breathing. Our lungs will pick up the pace and become under stress if our kidneys are not filtering very well. So if our kidneys are not filtering very well, then the liver is now under stress because it went down first. So we have a liver that backs up, then the kidneys try to take the slack for the liver, and when the kidneys start to be stressed, now the lungs take the stress.
The stress.
So the kidneys, their big job is balancing acidity and alkalinity in the blood. And the lungs can do it too. You'll see people under like extreme disease conditions where they're breathing, really fast. What they're trying to do is to push acids out of the blood. Carbon dioxide's an acid. They're just trying to get rid of as much acid off the system to try and help take the burden off the kidneys. And so most folks that complain about breathing issues, yes, it's smoky. Can I smell the smoke? I can barely smell it most times. I can see it, but I never notice an issue breathing. I'll go hiking and all that, and if you blindfolded me, I would have no idea that there was smoke in the air. But if your body's not performing really well, we're now going to see little symptoms, especially when we stress it a little bit more by maybe not having clean air. So one of the things we would do is say, okay, well, let's do some deep breathing exercises, maybe indoors, to try to help clear some things. But we would also begin to work on the liver first, as well as the kidneys. So deep breathing is really fascinating. I was up in the mountains about 2 weeks ago. And coming down the trail, I noticed my right knee was starting to talk to me. It was about probably mile 6, and I knew I had 2 miles to go. And I had read other accounts of people doing deep breathing and then focusing on a body part and having the pain relief. I was like, well, this is fascinating. Let me try it. Here I've got a body ache, and let's go for it. So I start doing my deep breathing, which is breathing in as deep as you can, holding it for 5 seconds, then breathing out very slowly. If you can even take 20 seconds to breathe out that breath, that's even better. And so as I did this, I just focused on my knee, just breathing really deep. And within, 10, 15 seconds, I was surprised. My knee stopped hurting. This is wild. And so I just kind of kept up with it. And, then my wife and I would start talking, and I would forget about it. I would still deep breathe, but not focus on my knee. When I stopped focusing on my knee, the pain came back. I'm like, this is just weird. So I'd focus back on my knee and I'd still do my deep breathing and it would go away. I'm like, this is really profound. And so some of you out there, you may find that just focusing on a body part of pain and doing deep breathing, oxygenation of the system, and then now you're really centering your thought on a body part that may be problematic or complaining with, so to speak, you may get some real interesting results as you kind of push body energy towards that body part by thinking about it. The mind is very potent. I've read accounts of people that had an injury and they imagined ice on it and it was cold. The body part was actually cold in that area and helped swelling. I'm like, hey, if the mind is that potent, let's use it to our best benefit and be cautious of using it in a negative way. If you really want to stress that too. So let's say somebody's out there and they believe that their kidneys and their liver might not be so happy. There's emotions out there that can be associated with those organs as well. And there's foods that we would also want to do. So one thing, though, I get a lot of people that I'll start strengthening them and they'll start telling me I'm very angry. That's a common symptom that I'll get as I strengthen people nutritionally. And what we're doing is we're actually elevating the liver's potency, and the liver's emotion is anger. And so they'll notice that they're having, hey, I'm getting angry. You told me I would. This is really weird. I find myself frustrated, irritated, short-tempered. I said, at this point, just watch the emotion. Try not to be sucked into it. That will take a lot of your energy just even to watch it. But if we do some things, even like beets, beet greens, things that are great at cleansing the liver, even fresh lemon and water, removing toxicity from your environment, from your diet, going more organic, all those things will help at least take pressure off of the liver. And on the kidneys, we would eat foods that are helpful to the kidneys, like kidney beans. I know it sounds crazy, but they're shaped like kidneys for a reason, because they're helpful. They're detoxifying to the kidneys themselves. And so extra water can help the kidneys. There are things that I'll do nutritionally, product-wise, that are enzymes to help the kidneys clear of their toxicity. And then, of course, bladder gets better, elimination gets better, toxicity gets better, everything starts to run better. Hey, my lungs are better. I notice my allergies better, my asthma better. Those are all possibilities when it goes to working on the whole global system as we work on the human body. So hopefully that kind of sheds some lights on anybody out there that's having breathing trouble, or that wants to kind of experiment a little bit with even some body aches and pains. If you have any wild stuff happen, definitely shoot me a line. Our information is on the end of this recording. And until next time, I'm Dr. Troy Munson, Revealing Wholeness.
This concludes another episode of Revealing Wholeness with Dr. Troy Munson. If you have any questions concerning this podcast or others, you can reach Dr. Munson by email at chiroman, that's CHIRO man, at dr.com. Or you can call him at his office during office operation hours at 360-893-8586. This show is sponsored by Infinity Whole Health on the Disruptors Podcast Network.